Hey everybody, welcome back to the Arizona Birdwatchers. My name is Troy Rowe, and with me as always,
my name is Dave, and welcome here to our DECA show, our 10th show here.
You guys have been listening to us for 10 weeks of NFL football, and we could not be more grateful for your guys' support and listening. You know, we do it all for you guys. Well, for us too, but mostly for you guys.
Yeah, a little for us, a little for you, a little for us, a little for you. And a lot for the Cardinals.
Yeah, buddy.
Celebrating another win, a win at Seattle in CenturyLink Field against those Sea Chicks. You know, we kind of grilled those birds a little bit.
Yes, we did. Let's get into our fun facts for today. So as Dave and I were looking over the Cardinal schedule, we realized something kind of cool.
Yeah, we only play teams other than the Philadelphia Eagles in our division or the NFC North or AFC North this season.
Yeah, 8 of our games are AFC, NFC North. We're playing a lot of cold weather this year.
Playing in a lot of cold weather, but they got that earlier on in the season, so that was kind of fortunate for us. You know, we went up to Pittsburgh earlier in the season rather than later, thankfully. Cleveland in the first half of the season. Baltimore came here.
Yeah.
So, you know, we were kind of fortunate in our travel arrangements. Green Bay is coming here, and I believe the Vikings are coming here as well.
Yep, for Thursday Night Football.
So all those northern teams come here when it gets colder. Kind of a fortunate schedule.
You know, it just helps with our, I'm doing quotation marks right now.
Yes.
Our cupcake schedule that everybody says we've been having.
Is that what they say? We have a cupcake schedule?
Oh, yeah, they said the Cardinals, who have they beaten?
Oh, man.
You know who we beat? The Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, we beat the Seattle Seahawks, and we're going to beat the Bengals this week.
That's what I like to hear.
All that and more coming up into the Arizona Birdwatchers.
So let's talk about, we're going to change up the show a little bit this week, and let's say who we're going to give game ball and the up-downs to this week. And Dave, why don't you tell us who the up-downs are going to?
Well, unfortunately, we gave him up-downs last week, and we're giving him up-downs this week.
Yep.
It's Bobby Massey.
Yeah, man.
He went up against Cliff Averill, who finished tonight with 5 tackles, 2 for a loss, and a sack. Massey was the weaker part of our line, and it showed, especially when Upati got taken off the field.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I understand they're on opposite sides of the line and something like that, but I guess it's just something about when, you know, we lose one of our stronger guards, our strongest guard, if you will, and then, then I don't know, something about the pressure came to Massey. I don't know what happened to him, but he just 2 weeks in a row now, he's been giving up a lot of big plays. Mind you, Cliff Averill's no scrub. You know, that dude is a stud. And Massey's going to have a hard time. He's got a hard time coming up next week, and just hope we can see him get a little bit better each week, you know, as we get into the second part of the season. Playoff atmosphere starts building around us. You know, we want to get our record nice and great, finish top of the division, get that first week bye, and hopefully he can straighten it out.
Right, and Carson is only as good as however much time he has in the pocket.
Exactly.
And, you know, Bobby Massey, and that's up to Bobby Massey and the rest of the offensive line there. You know, Upati, we had a little scare this week, but it sounds like he's going to be back.
Yeah. All of his CTs came out clear. He got checked out, you know, and they just do that because they have to. Anytime there's that kind of hits, they have to go through the whole entire protocol. So while it looked really scary, looks like he should be fine. Hopefully he should be back with us next week.
Right. A scare when the ambulance has to come onto the field even. Yes. But thankfully he's okay, and he should be here this week against the Bengals. And then against the Seahawks, we have to talk about incredible performances all around. But who's going to get this game ball, Troy?
Yeah, I got to give this one. I mean, it's kind of weird. We haven't really given it to him all season because I guess when it's the greatest, you just expect the greatest all the time. But I'm giving this week's to Larry Fitzgerald.
Absolutely. We got to give it to Fitz. You know, he didn't have a touchdown, but he was moving the ball up and down the field all day.
Yeah, dude. He shredded the defense. I mean, honestly, it was just like when he wasn't making catches, when he wasn't getting the ball, when he wasn't getting another first down, he was blocking. And he was blocking as well as any of our tight ends, honestly. He takes blocking very, very personal, and he's great at it.
Oh, yeah. He is such a team player. He adds so much to our running game, to our screen game even. I never want to see him retire. It's going to be a sad day, Troy.
It's going to be, like, there was one catch where it just, like, kind of defined it for me, but the one where he caught it on the sideline, and he, like, kind of dove real flat, and, you know, they thought for a second he didn't get his feet down.
Right, but he dragged.
And he dragged, yeah. And his dreadlocks were just bouncing, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm going to miss seeing those majestic guys just floating around out there making teams terrified to come to University of Phoenix Stadium.
Exactly. It's beautiful to see him play. And right now, when he's doing so well and in his prime, when people thought his prime was years ago.
Yes. And let's go into the offense, man. The whole offense for that game. Carson was 29 for 48. He threw 363 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. And once again, I thought he was very solid, dude. He gave up some fumbles, but this game was a statement game for him. Dude, he made Seattle suck it.
Yeah. I love it. And yeah, he even did the suck it gesture.
That was probably one of the highlights, top tier highlight of the game was when he was doing that to the crowd.
Oh my God, it was beautiful. And then my man CJ2K, 25 attempts with 58 yards, and then Ellington,
yes,
man.
Red Jesus, baby.
Ellington had 5 attempts for 61 yards, and If I didn't know what a change of the pace running back was or what it could do for our offense. I know now, thanks to the Andre Ellington Clinic.
That's exactly what it is, man.
And the sad thing is, when he's making that outside run and I'm like dancing, celebrating, looking on TV, I see that myself and Drew Stanton have choreographed dances unintentionally.
I thought you were making that up on the spot. I had no idea you guys just had this weird mental connection.
We have this mental connection. I don't know if it's constantly being on the bench all my life or what it is, but I loved it. And Drew was just so pumped and just dancing up a storm.
Dude, he's internet famous now.
Yes,
he's huge.
Absolutely.
He's blowing up the internet with that dance of his.
Slammin' Stanton.
The Slammin' Stanton. So we had Larry for 130 yards. Michael Floyd, another big game, 113 yards, 2 touchdowns. That second one was beautiful, diving into the end zone. You couldn't tell if it was in or out at all.
Yeah, he did exactly what you predicted, Troy, which is it took a couple games to get him in. And now he's here.
Yeah, buddy. I'm excited. Like, everyone contributed on this game. For the most part, the offense did everything they wanted to do, and they did it against a really good defense. I mean, the Legion of Boom was certainly kept pretty quiet by the offense.
Yeah, that crowd's supposed to help that defense, and although, it did, and there were pockets in the second and third quarter which made you nervous.
Mm-hmm.
But we did a great job at quieting that crowd.
Oh my gosh, yeah! I saw a really funny meme of a Seahawks fan, and he was like had his beer and he was like had his head down and he was like, "But we were so loud."
Right. But we were so loud, not loud enough, I guess. And our whole team was making plays.
Yeah,
not only Carson, Jerron Brown, who stole that interception back from Seattle.
Yeah, that was so sick when he did that. And he had a really key block on that Ellington run. Ellington wouldn't have had that run if Jerron Brown didn't get that really good block on the outside that really let him run it up there.
And the offensive line had their work cut out for him. But, Carson was working on his reel for Dancing with the Stars. That dude was shuffling around, dancing around, looking like Aaron Rodgers, maybe Rodgers in 5 years.
Yeah,
but still, fantastic to see Carson moving around like that.
Yes, and so great game for the offense all around. But, of course, we got to talk about our defense, man. 9 QB hits. We had 1 sack, 1 interception. We only allowed 228 passing yards and 115 rush yards. So, I think this is one of the games where we contained Russell Wilson better than we have, in the time that we've played Russell Wilson. I mean, he only had 52 rushing yards when normally he averages, 80 to 100 yards against us.
Right. No, it was great. And I mean, Deion Buchanan, he led the team in tackles again, had the only sack of the game. And, he's leading the team in tackles this season with 63. So that's impressive.
Yeah, it's huge. And it's crazy to see him out there because he only started the first 4 games of the season as a safety, but ever since then, I think since Okafor got hurt, he's been playing linebacker the whole time. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if he can bulk up a little bit, I think he's a return of Darryl Washington, honestly.
Right. He looks just as strong as a young Darryl Washington.
Yes.
And speaking of young defensive studs, you can't not talk about the Honey Badger.
Dude.
52 tackles on the season and had another interception against Seattle.
He almost had that second one, too. It came right out of his hands, dude.
And you can see how disappointed he was.
He was so mad. Yeah, but once again, he was all over the field, just causing problems everywhere. And where the football is, Honey Badger's at. He's magic on that field. And he's honestly, this year he was right, comeback year. He was savage season, dude, and he is doing everything to hold true to what he's saying.
Right, and Marshawn does not deserve the term beast mode. So
no.
yeast
mode
only had 42 yards on the day.
Yes.
Contained,
dude, completely contained. I don't think our defense doesn't get as much attention as our offense, but they're keeping us in every single game. And it's got to the point where it's like, when we're down or things are looking sour for the offense, we can almost it's almost a guarantee. I hate to say guarantee because there's no guarantees, but you feel like it's almost guaranteed that they're going to get us the ball back in some way. They're going to get a fumble. They're going to get an interception. Somehow, when we need that ball, they're going to give it to us.
They are just looking to make a play, and that's what I love about this defense is they're not just looking, hey, let's hold them to a punt. Hey, let's just get the ball back. It is they are trying to make that play. If Honey Badger allows a touchdown, it is on the defense to score, not the offense.
Yes.
They don't rely on the offense, and that's what I love about this team and how we've been growing.
Yeah, dude. And it's just seeing us come from, as cool as it was in the beginning of the season to have those dominating victories, I think it kind of hindered us, and we have 2 losses to show for how distracting 2 dominating victories can be for a team.
Right, and the great thing is we're balanced. We've got multiple people. We've got multiple people in the wide receiver slots, and we have multiple people in the running back slots. Andre Ellington with that great play, and Bruce was so proud of him.
Yes.
So let's jump into Arianisms where he talked about Ellington this past week. And Troy, what did he say?
Yeah, so basically, when he was talking about Ellington, Red Jesus on that game-sealing touchdown, Arian said, a lot of people were saying get out of bounds, and I'm saying stay in bounds, go score. Shit
is right, man.
Yes.
And he did score. It was perfect.
And it's weird. Ellington's this weird guy where it feels like the whole team loves this dude. You know what I mean? Like the whole team wants him to be successful. Like he's not who we all thought he was going to be. You know what I mean? We thought Chris Johnson would be backing up Ellington all year, and Chris Johnson's had this amazing resurgence. And but it's like the whole team. Anytime Ellington does something special with the football, everyone lights up about him.
They're loving it.
He's such a respected player on the team, and I think when you have a whole team backing you up like that, it just speaks to how good of a dude you must be.
Right, and it's good to have support of the whole players. And speaking about the entire team, we got to jump in to what they were saying on the social medias this week. Bird chirps.
Bird chirps.
Troy, let's start with Justin Bethel. What did he say?
Justin Bethel, he's probably going to get in trouble. Andy Dalton's probably going to be really upset that he said this, but he said, anybody else think Andy Dalton kind of looked like 10-10?
And as you can see as this video is passing, Tintin is quite the character and quite a resemblance of Andy Dalton.
I think it's pretty dead on. So I don't think he was wrong in that one. So you just got to be careful. Andy Dalton gets a little upset when you talk about his looks.
Yeah, he popped off J.J. Watt this past week.
Yeah, yeah, maybe Tintin will get upset that somebody compared him to Andy Dalton.
I hope so.
Man. So then we had John Smokey Brown, and he tweeted, woke up this morning and he put a link of the GIF of the now internet famous Drew Slam and Stanton dance.
Boom, baby. That's how I jump out of bed every morning now.
I haven't seen my Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. I haven't seen any social media thing as Cardinals lit up as I did after this game, and especially with that Stanton dance and then the Carson Palmer suck it thing. It made me so happy. Every other person had posted about it.
Right. It was just so funny to see Carson do the suck it and slam and stand and just popping around. These Cardinals are having fun. They're having fun in Seattle, and while they were having fun, even the Cardinals social media was having fun.
Exactly right, man. The Cardinals media team got out on the action, and they tweeted out after the game, CenturyLink Field is as quiet as a church mouse blowing bubbles into a feathered pillow.
As quiet as a church mouse.
At my time that I've been following the Cardinals Twitter, I have never seen them post anything like that. It's contagious, man. It is very contagious.
Oh, my God.
So it looks like everybody is getting in on the fun.
Everybody's getting in on the fun, man. And then we're going to bring the party back to the toaster. Even our under the nest players are going to get a taste of some of the action, we hope.
Yes,
especially this running back of ours.
Yeah, let's talk about Robert Hughes as our under the nest player this week. The dude has spent time with the Bears, the Buccaneers, Redskins, and the Colts, which is the first team. The Colts was the first team that he was put on the 53-man roster. and it's also the place where he met Bruce Arians.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So why do you think Bruce likes this player so much?
He was on the team all of 2014 where we were a little bit more thin at running back, but the guy is a stud. Bruce Arians doesn't really run a fullback role too much, but that's what Robert Hughes does. But he's very fast and he can catch pretty well too. So he's like a little bulldozer that, can catch and run really fast.
He's like a tight end that lines up behind the quarterback.
Yeah. But he knows how to run the football, and he can run really good routes. You know what I mean? So he's likely not going to have a huge impact, but Arians, there's something that he likes about this guy because he seems to always find a way to keep him around.
Yeah, so let's hope to see him on the 53-man roster. He's there currently, right?
Yeah, he's on the practice squad right now.
Oh, he's on the practice squad now?
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get him into the full roster. Because right now we have A.Q. Shipley in there running a lot of fullback stuff, so I'm sure that their plan is to transition Robert Hughes back into that fullback spot.
Gotcha. Well, maybe we'll see him come playoff time.
Yeah, I'm sure A.Q. Shipley can't keep up with CJ2K.
No,
the little lightning bolt he is.
Or even David Johnson, man.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, man.
So anyway, but we're probably not going to see Hughes this week against the Bengals.
No.
It's going to be a great game on the official Cardinals football network, at least for the last week and this week in BC.
So, Cardinals taking over Sunday Night Football 2 weeks in a row,
it's a beautiful thing.
So the Bengals are going to be a challenge, man. They're going to be another big game. Andy Dalton. So far this season, he's thrown for 2,423 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. He's ranked 9th in yards amongst all QBs. And, the Red Rifle is having one of his best seasons ever. And until the loss last night to Houston, the Bengals have been perfect all season. So I think there was something in that Houston game where once things started going south, once he was getting a lot of pressure put on him, after the interception, he just seemed really flustered. And when the secondary was all over his routes, he didn't seem to have an ability to improvise within the pocket to make something happen.
I think that complements us going into this game because we have this defense that can fluster quarterbacks, I don't want to say easily, but pretty effectively.
Yeah, and the Houston secondary isn't that great. So he couldn't get guys open. He couldn't make plays happen against a very mediocre secondary. What's he going to do when he comes against the NFL's #1 secondary?
I'm thinking make a pick.
Yeah, hopefully lots of picks.
lots of picks. And the just defeated Bengals have 2 leading rushers. Jeremy Hill, he's got 359 yards this season with 5 touchdowns. Kind of looks like he's their red zone running back.
Yeah.
And then they've got Giovanni Bernard, who's got 547 yards and 2 touchdowns. So lately they've gone with Bernard as the starter and then jumped to Hill in the red zone.
Yeah.
Jeremy Hill was supposed to, he was supposed to be their every down back.
Yeah.
But that hasn't been the case, hasn't lived up to the expectations.
And it's going to be exciting, dude, because, regardless of all that, both these backs have a chance for big plays. They're both pretty solid, but when you compare them to, like, Beast Mode or even Russell Wilson, I think these guys will be a lot easier to contain. Most of the offense on this team seems to all come around Andy Dalton and his receivers.
Right. Andy Dalton's got a couple options here.
Yeah.
A.J. Green, 769 yards, 4 touchdowns, 8th in yards amongst all wide receivers in the NFL. This guy is impressive. He is going to be our threat. We'll see Patrick Peterson on him.
Definitely.
Tyler Eifert.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but he's one of my boys.
That's
a
all
Notre
right.
Dame boy. He's 460 yards this season, 9 touchdowns. He's leading the NFL tight ends with touchdowns this season. Pretty impressive when he just came out of college in 2013.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is his second year. He had a lot of big promise going in this year, and he's playing like it. And that could be a good or bad thing because what we saw against Houston was he had a lot of big drops. He dropped the game winner against Houston.
Right.
And this is one of 2 things. Now they could be in their heads or they could be driven and they could be ready to play a really hard game and they could want to come back and show that they're not a fluke. They're not the team that everyone says they are every year. That's a one-and-done playoff team.
Right. But, the thing is, the Cardinals have proved they're not a team you want to play after we've lost.
Yeah.
We don't know about these Bengals. We don't know what their mindset is, like you
exactly.
said. So who knows what this game can do? But their strength is their offense. And Green, Eifert, and Dalton are all having breakout seasons together.
Yeah, man.
Which is good for them because they've had that kind of classic almost there-ness for the last couple of years, and it looks like they're going to make the playoffs now.
Yeah. And
but they're just not going to clinch it this weekend.
And I'm curious. I'm going to be really curious to see if they try to bust out that funky Star Wars formation they did versus the Texans, where they split out their 2 tackles and they just have a guard, center, and the running back.
3 offensive linemen.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 blockers. I don't want to put Carson in that situation.
Yeah.
And
God, no.
And you know what? I welcome the challenge against our defense.
Yeah, I would love to see them run that with Calais Campbell and Marcus Golden coming on the outside.
Yeah, seriously.
Yes.
So, and then Honey Badger, Pat Pete, and everybody.
That's when you do that Engage 8 from Madden and just send the house.
Engage 8, baby. Engage 8, exactly. So, we'll see.
And so their offensive line, though, they've only allowed 14 sacks this season, which is the same amount the Cardinals' offensive line has allowed. And you would assume with like a strong passing game and decent running game that their line, for the most part, it seems pretty solid. I mean, they held J.J. Watt to 1 tackle and 1 sack, which is the only sack they had all game. So it should be interesting to see how they respond to like how fast and how quick we can attack them.
Right, when you're running the ball as good as they are and passing and giving Dalton enough time to pass the ball as good as he is, you got to have a good offensive line. So this is a strength of theirs. We know that, but we've got a great pass rush. We've got a great run defense.
Yes.
We do not fear this offensive line at all. So let's talk about their defense.
Yeah. So far, the Bengals defense, they ranked 22nd in yards allowed this season. And they average about 338 yards a game, and they average about 16.9 points a game. So this defense, I mean, they can be taken advantage of, and we saw that money. Like T.J. Yates was making passes on this defense. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I mean, we'll see. I think we'll be able to do a good job of shredding them apart. And there's one of their big strengths. I would say the more stronger point is their front seven. And they allow about an average of 102.4 rushing yards a game. But they are ranked 6th in sacks this season. Their leading sack man is their left defensive end, Carlos Dunlap. Dude's got 8.5 sacks so far this season.
Wow, he's going to be challenging that. Massey?
He's going to be going up against Massey, which is really scary.
Yeah, that is a challenge, Massey.
Yes.
Get those up downs in.
Yeah.
You got a big Sunday night ahead of you. And then they've got that defensive tackle, Geno Atkins.
Yeah.
Who's got 6 this season. So
yeah, Geno Atkins combining with Carlos Dunlap, that's going to be interesting to see those guys out there and how they handle everything. And then we get to look at their secondary, which has a lot of veterans and a lot of young guys, but they give up about 236 yards a game, but they are ranked 11th in interceptions. They have 9 so far this season.
They've got those veterans you were talking about, notably Adam Jones, who's got 2 interceptions on the season.
Yep.
Most of the interceptions, though, coming from safety Reggie Nelson, who's already got 4 this season.
But with that, though, this does seem like a team that we're going to be able to pass on. Especially after we're coming off a game where I think we built a lot of confidence in ourselves. We showed, I think people really didn't think we could win in big games. And Sunday night was a big game, and we went into Seattle, and we beat them. And I think everyone on the team is going to have a lot of confidence to know that if we play the way we're supposed to play, we can win anywhere. And we gave up 2 fumbles in the fourth quarter, and we still beat Seattle.
And we still beat Seattle. So that's a very good point, Troy. We go into this game at home against Cincinnati. Then we wrap up our division against San Francisco and St. Louis in the next 2 weeks. We're in a good place, man.
Yeah,
We're in a very good place. I don't want to say we can start resting people. I don't want to call this a consolation game.
No.
But we're in a great place.
Yeah, and
going into this playoff push.
I'm not a big fan of resting people personally.
Yeah.
Every team that I've ever seen that's rested people before the playoffs usually don't get that far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we're resting people, I want to rest that first week of the playoffs because we're on bye.
The bye.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's the only time I want to rest. If we're not doing that, I want everybody out there the whole time.
And we can easily get that first round bye.
Exactly. All right, man. So we got all our info, bro. I want to hear what do you think? What do you think score prediction?
I think we're putting a lot of points on the board.
I want that, yeah.
I think Cincy will put some points on. Let's say 42-14. 42-28.
42-28. Wow. That's eerily close to what I was thinking, dude.
Oh, really?
But because you said I'll go 45.
Okay.
I want my man. I want Canzera. Catman's got to get some.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 45. 45-35. Well, it'll be a close one.
Okay.
They're going to put some points up.
45-35. Good.
Yeah,
Good
guys.
deal.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, guys. Remember, follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube, Troboat, TROW, Boat.
Yeah, and feel free to leave comments. We will answer or cater or even have your thoughts on the show. So feel free to leave a comment on the Twitters, the Reddits, the Facebook, the hashtags, all those fun things.
Yeah, guys. Thanks for listening to the Arizona Birdwatchers, the best biased bird gang podcast around. Have a good weekend.